Chalo, settle down fast, all of you. Good afternoon. Why such a low good afternoon? Good afternoon, all of you. Thank you so much. And now today it's just the listening class. There are different classes, no? So today's class is all listening. We are doing all exemptions, and tomorrow we will do only problems related to exemptions. All the problems we will do tomorrow, major problems will be over. Okay? Finished? Water bottle game is over. हो गया सब settle? Now as a prayer, though we have to start with exemption, I feel for capital gain whenever you open the topic. Just now I met so many of the students from morning batch. They were writing exam, no, today? And they gave me the feedback. Everything is very clear what you teach, but lot of repetition is required. Then only we score marks in the subject called income tax. Now what is the solution for that? Like suppose we have studied yesterday reverse mortgage. In that 2 important lines are there. Then we have studied the concept of stamp duty. Okay? I am not revising stamp duty now. Pin drop silence. Please stop talking, all of you. Because we have decided to do exemption. But can we surely promise every day when we start capital gain start, let us check up the age of the asset? Because of the age of the asset, if it is not clear, your whole capital gain will go wrong. Indexation lena hai ya nahi lena hai? That depends on what? Age of the capital asset. For example, listed securities. Then units of UTI. Units of UTI are like mutual fund units. Zero coupon bonds. For them, holding period is up to 12 months. Short term. Otherwise, long term. Unlisted shares, you know, unlisted shares which are not listed on stock exchange, STT is not charged. Okay? Land and building. Yesterday we did all the problems for land and building and some of you were not clear. Is it short term or long term? So above 2 years it is long term. Up to 24 months. Less than or equal to 24 months it is short term. Other than this, all the other assets, that is debt-oriented mutual funds, where mutual fund is putting the money in the debt market, or unlisted securities other than shares or other capital asset, that is your jewelry and paintings and sculptures, and now your VDAs, added this time is virtual digital asset, your ULIP. All the other assets, 36 months above it is long term, otherwise short term. Clear? Chalo. Now this next page table also needs to be repeated a lot. You will need this table mainly to solve the total income question number 1, which is mandatory. Question number 1 mein total income you have to calculate, and even capital gain. If they say calculate the capital gain, stop over there. But if they say calculate the tax on the capital gain, you have to use this table. Okay? Here, always we should start with shares. Long-term capital gain on shares which are listed, STT is charged. Section 112A. Okay? Deductions are not there, ATC to ATU. Basic exemption up to 2,50,000 will you give? Yes. Additional 1 lakh exemption. And above that, everything is taxable at 10%. Rebate you are not giving. Rebate is given to whom? Resident individuals. Up to what? See, up to what I said, to Sama saying 12,500. Sama, I asked loosely. How I told you to answer? If the total income is up to 5 lakhs, then rebate is given up to? Crystal clear answer dena hai. And you know it. Both the answers were right. Don't give loose answers. So now long-term capital gain on shares rebate is not allowed. And additional surcharge is also not applicable. From this year, this is the latest amendment, so I have given in bold. Long-term capital gain on other assets also, additional surcharge rate 25% and 37% are not applicable. So even if I have long-term capital gain on building 8 crores, how much surcharge I'll be paying? 15%. Clear to all of you? This needs to be revised like this. Other long-term capital gain also, deductions are not allowed, basic exemption is available. Rate, how much is rate of tax for long-term capital gain? 20%. For shares, 10%. Short-term capital gain, what is the rate of tax? Slab rate. But if it is shares, then 15%. So see how I am reading, sometimes vertical, sometimes tomorrow I will only read it in the class left to right. Let us see, rebate is given in everything except long-term capital gain on shares. Additional surcharge rates are not applicable anywhere. ये तो 3 है. Other than this, one more added is dividend. If you check your slab rates, I have given there in bold. Even on dividend income, additional surcharge rates are not applicable. But now all the dividends are taxable. So this was just a revision. We have finished all this conversion and shares related 3 classes we have taken, all done. Conversion of debentures into shares, buyback of shares, companies paying the tax. Just I am scrolling so that you remember. And right now we are in exemptions. Now where exemptions play the role. Just now we are talking about the tax rates, and yesterday in some of the problems we have calculated the tax rates also. Look at the screen. Is this the format how to calculate the capital gain? Yes. Sale consideration less expenses related to sales. Net sale consideration minus the index cost of acquisition if it is long term. Otherwise cost of acquisition. Index cost of improvement, here same improvement, and you get capital gain. Because capital gain is huge, and just now we saw the rates. Long term capital gain pe seedha 20%. No slab rate, nothing. So to avoid the capital gain, they are saying invest in proper mode and claim exemption. The name is given exemption from 54 to 54 GB and all, but actually these are in a way deductions. Are you getting now at which stage we are? Sale consideration minus expense, net sale consideration, index cost of acquisition improvement, capital gain. Till capital gain, is the story clear? Once you get capital gain and you fulfill certain conditions, you get exemptions. What is the benefit of giving these exemptions which I am teaching in today's class? Your capital gain will reduce, your tax liability will reduce. Followed? Like as a layman, if my gross total income is 5 lakh, I have to pay the tax on 5 lakh. But if I am putting money in PPF, 1,50,000, I get deduction. Because of this deduction, my earning is 5 lakh, but I have invested in a good mode, no? So now I have to pay the tax on 3,50,000. In that also 2.5 lakh is the basic exemption. Remaining is 5%. So these are all tax planning. Today's class is also tax planning. And I'm going to teach you many exemptions today. But exemptions which are important for exam, that I'll tell you in the end. Repeatedly in inter-exam, some exemptions come and some are very popular for the final exam. So first, each and every exemption we will study vertically. Okay? Please come on page number 124. Wherever you have doubt, ask me or underline it and write down what I am making you write. First exemption is section 54. Who can claim? Read the question. Read it like this. ऐसे पढ़ेंगे आप. Who can claim the exemption 54? Individual and HUF. छोटे छोटे SSC we call them. Individual and HUF. Layman. Which capital asset? Long term. 2 years, 3 years से above you are holding. Which specific asset? Residential house property. Not commercial properties, not jewelry. क्या बेचोगे आप? What you need to sell? Residential house property. Which asset the taxpayer should acquire? Residential house property. Time limit for purchase should be there, no? I have sold one house and I got huge capital gain. Now Dipti ma'am is saying invest in another house, आपका कैपिटल गेन फ्री हो जाएगा. नल्ला कुंटा में घर बेचो, जल्दी 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 हाईटेक सिटी में घर ले लो. अरे बट द वास्तु इज नॉट गुड, द टाइमिंग इज नॉट गुड. आई डोंट वांट टू बाय द हाउस नाउ, आई वांट टू बाय आफ्टर 6 months. So how much is the time limit? That time limit is 1 year backward. Now what do you mean by this 1 year backward? Means can I purchase the house and then sell? Yes. If I am getting a good deal, I have purchased the house in high-tech city, and after 6 months, as and how I get good customer, I am selling the house here. Is it possible? Yes. So purchase 1 year backward, 2 years forward, or construction 3 years. Purchase के लिए कितना time है? 2 years. Construction के लिए कितना time है? 3 years. But from when? From the date of transfer. Students fall in a pitfall. In exam, they give ki okay, one house is sold and another house is purchased. But if it is not purchased in the time limit, do you get the exemption? No. Followed or not? Purchase the house 1 year backward from the date of the transfer. Many students say, मैम रिटर्न भरने को टाइम है ना, तब तक खरीद लेंगे हम. ऐसे नहीं होता है. It's not from you have time till the date of filing the return. It's from the date of transfer, 1 year backward, 2 years forward. And for construction, 3 years forward. Is it clear? From which date? From the date of transfer. But if the house is compulsory acquired by government, you remember we did problems. House is compulsory acquired in 2018. I got the money in 22. So now with this money I can buy the new house now. Tab tak to time limit is over. Are you getting? I have sold the house. From there 2 years may I should purchase the new house. But I didn't sell my house. My house was compulsory acquired by government for the metro work. ले लिया उन्होंने, पैसे ही नहीं दिए 3 साल तक. If they don't give the money, how do I purchase another house 2 years forward? In case of compulsory acquisition, the day you receive the amount, from there 2 years forward purchase, 3 years forward construct. Today's class, the more logical you understand, better. If you try to rectify all this, बड़ा difficult होगा. And see how you respond in tomorrow's class when we apply this and solve problem. Since years I am teaching like this. Earlier I used to do one exemption, उसका एक problem, फिर second exemption, फिर जब हम एक साथ problem करें तो मैम इसमें कौन सा exemption आएगा पता नहीं. So now learn it. Are you getting? I have sold jewelry, I have sold property, I have sold plot. Now which exemption and what, that also you should know na for exam. Followed? So this will take little more time. We are not going by very easier way, but full proof. By tomorrow you will be clear. ठीक है? So what you are selling? Residential house. What you are buying? Who are you? Individual and HF. How much time you have holded the asset? Long term. What's the time limit to purchase? 1 year backward. 2 years forward and 3 years for construction from the date of, but that language change. But in case of compulsory acquisition, from the date of receipt of, पैसे तो मिले ना. Have we done like this cases wherein so many times the capital gain is postponed? I converted my property into stock in trade. Stock in trade is not sold. When stock in trade will be sold in business, that time I'll pay the capital gain. My property is acquired by government in 2018. I received the money in March 22. I'll pay the capital gain in 22-23. Clear to all of you? But indexation will be till 18 or till 22? 18. Because that's the date of transfer. Now, how much is exempt? ये ना अगर आप देखोगे तो 1, 2 हर जगह कॉपी है, बस ये अकेला है, ये अलग खड़ा है. इसको हम लास्ट में पढ़ेंगे. 54F. Right now what it is? Investment in the new house or capital gain, whichever is lower. ये lower higher नहीं समझता. ये देखो यहाँ लिखो, sale consideration 25 rupees. Write down on the left hand side, scribble in the table. And we are into concepts, so 10 rupees and 2 rupees. Sale consideration is how much? 25. Index cost of acquisition is 20. What is long term capital gain? 5. Now investment in the new house is 8. I have sold the house for 25 and I have purchased the new house for 18. 8 bhi nahi, 18. So how much is exempt? Long term capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. So how much is exempt? 5. Are you all getting? Anyone in the class feeling, ma'am, 5 is the capital gain, I have invested 18, 13 rupees loss? No. Take a pause, digest this. You all are doing it for first time. समझ में आया मैंने क्या बोला? Your capital gain is 5 rupees less exemption under section 54, 18. Ma'am, can I take 13 rupees as long-term capital loss? Can I carry forward? No. In short, can I come to a conclusion with this that exemption is restricted to the capital gain? Capital gain से ज़्यादा तो exemption you will not get. Now, option 2. Suppose I invested in the new house 2 rupees. How much is my capital gain? 5. How much I invested in new house? 2. So, 5 or 2, whichever is lower, is this dialogue. But logically, if you have put 2 rupees, how much you will take the deduction? 2 rupees. Then long-term capital gain taxable will be how much? 3 rupees. Write down both the options. If not very much not, if it is clear, right. If it is not clear, I will dictate in the notebook. Online live students also, if you have any doubt, ask, and preferably watch these videos, specifically these table videos, full screen and in laptop. Confused or clear? Anyone in the class wants repetition? How much capital gain is exempt? How much capital gain is exempt? Investment or capital gain, whichever is lower. If investment is 18, 5. If investment is 2, 2. And logically it is right. Chalo. Now, is it possible to revoke the exemption? I have sold one house. I purchased another house. I claimed exemption. I filed my return in July 23. And August 23, I again sold the second house also. Only for taking exemption, I purchased it. Can I do it with my friend? हाँ ठीक है, थोड़ा स्टैम्प ड्यूटी लगेगा, जो भी होगा कॉस्ट टू कॉस्ट पे खरीदेंगे ना. पीपल कैन डू लाइक दिस. सो दे से if you have sold the house, if you have purchased the house, new asset, if it is transferred within 3 years, 3 years is the lock-in period. That language is not there, but I call it lock-in period. We are giving you exemption. घर बेच के घर ले रहे हो, so you are reducing the capital gain now. So then hold that second house for how many years? 3 years. Ma'am, if I sell it in 2, we will do the problems for revocation also. Do you understand this law word revocation? ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं लगा मुझे, law के terms ही नहीं अच्छे लगते, but this word is used. Revocation. You all know or not what is revocation? Revert, cancellation. We gave you exemption कि आपने घर बेच के घर खरीदा and 1 महीने में दूसरा घर भी बेच दिया. Your exemption is revoked. Again it will become taxable. As what? Short-term capital gain. Ma'am, but this was long-term. Why short-term? Because the second house is sold within 3 years. So it is short-term. And if it is revoked, how the capital gain is calculated, that we will see tomorrow. And now one amendment is there. That's why if you can see over here, it is written note 1. अब वो note 1 क्या है अभी साथ में पढ़ेंगे. Come here. This is only, this note 1 is only for section 54. If capital gain is greater than 2 crore, one residential house can be purchased 1 year backward, 2 year forward. But if the capital gain is less than 2 crore, then 2 residential house can be purchased. Are you getting? I have sold one house in our area and the capital gain is 1 crore. Can I buy 2 houses in Sikandrabad and Kukatpalli? Yes. Are you getting or not what I am saying? एक बड़ा घर नल्ला कुंटा में बेच दिया, 2 बेटे हैं, दोनों को एक एक घर ले दिया. तो मैम, will I get exemption only for one? No, you will get exemption for both, provided your capital gain is less than or up to 2 crore. This is important for MCQs. This is amendment of 21. Finance Act 22, we all are studying. This is amendment of 21, but still very important. Is it clear to all of you? Right. And now we come to the last aspect of this. Here we were, okay, if it is exemption is revoked, it is short-term capital gain. Now, whether CGS is applicable. तो अब ये CGS क्या है? CGS full form is what? Capital Gain Account Scheme. As I said, I have sold one house on 31st July 2022. So 31st July 22 plus 2 years के अंदर ना मुझे नया घर खरीद लेना है. Yes? Or I should complete the construction plus 3 years. Yes? Now, July 22. So, which is my financial year? 22? 23. For 23, when will I file my return now? July 23 और अगर audit है तो September 23. I will teach you. That's the topic we have not done. Return of income. तो ठीक है, जुलाई और सितंबर में हमने रिटर्न भर दिया. And then when I am filing the return, I am writing a letter to the AO, sir, please consider no, reduce my capital gain because promise 2 years में I will purchase the house. 2 years time is there, no? Promise I'll purchase. Will anyone believe promise? No. So what they have done, government is saying till due date of filing the return, if you have not purchased the new house, you have time, you park this amount in a separate bank account under CGAS scheme. What is CGAS itself? Capital Gain Account Scheme. उसमें ये पैसे डाल दो मतलब क्या कर दो? ब्लॉक कर दो. And withdraw this amount only for purchase or construction. Clear? And you have to attach this receipt in filing your return. Online return है तो जो scan करके copies upload करना है. Are you getting why we are going for CGS scheme? Once again, I have transferred the house on July 22. Now from date of transfer, 2 years forward, I should purchase the house. 3 years, तो July 22 मतलब July 25 तक का time है ना construction complete करने के लिए. But then while filing the return in July 23, I want to claim an exemption. So can I verbally say to department, sir, I have claimed this exemption of 54 because I am very sure I will complete the construction by July 25. Can I do so? No. They say either buy the house till due date of filing the return. If not, put the money in CGAS scheme. Is the scheme clear to all of you? Let us read. Under 54, 54B, D, F, G, मतलब सब exemption में आता है. CG, capital gain is exempt, but if the gain is reinvested within the time allowed for the purpose, if such reinvestment is not made before due date of filing the return, then amount of sale consideration is required to be deposited in the CGAS. Deposit shall be made before furnishing the return. Deposit shall be made in a bank or institution, not your routine saving account. CGS separate account will be there. The return of income shall be accompanied by that proof. See, either you purchase the house, or if you are promising, no, surely promise sir within 2 years I'll purchase, then put the money in CGS, block karo, and give us the receipt. Then they will trust. Otherwise, why they'll trust? Followed or not? I don't know if we do GST also, no? We say ki no. This is not, I am not selling the goods from here to Chennai. This is the stock transfer. So then what do they ask us to do? Pay the tax and then get the refund. Customs में भी वैसे ही होता है, ऐसे duty drawback, वही logic है, same. अच्छा, suppose if we keep the money in CGS and if we are not able to use in 2 years and 3 years, then what will happen? Exemption will be revoked. It will again become taxable. Okay? You know, it's not written here, but for GK purpose, whatever amount you put in CGS, you get nominal interest. जो saving account में मिलता है ना 4.5%, उतना amount आपको you get interest in the CGS. So it's not like, ma'am, how can I park so much money in the CGS? Crores of rupees मेरा तो पड़ा रहेगा बैंक में और interest भी नहीं मिलेगा. तो they give nominal interest. Now is that interest taxable? क्या पता? Are you confused what I am saying? Or clear? Confused? Listen, I have sold the property for 100 lakhs. ये नहीं, दूसरा figure ले रहे थे. Sale consideration 100 और 75 उसका index cost और capital gain आ गया 25. Now I am sure this 100 rupees I will invest. So I have put it in the CGA scheme under 54. Okay, how much I have put the money? 100. On 100, how much time I can keep it in CGS? 2 years, 3 years, जो भी time limit है. In that time, can I get 10 rupees interest on the CGS? Yes or no? It's not written, इतना in depth मतलब नहीं है, पर practically तो बिल्कुल मालूम होना चाहिए. If you tell to anyone, no, I have learned, we can put the money. तो layman will ask you first कि पैसे डाले मतलब कुछ मिलेगा या ऐसे ही पैसे block हो जाएंगे? The first thing they will ask you. So when you put 100 rupees in CGS, will you get interest? Yes or no? 10 rupees. Is this 10 rupees taxable? Yes. All the interest are taxable in other sources. Interest on enhanced compensation. You remember? Government gave me less compensation. I fought with them. I said, नहीं मेरे को और पैसे चाहिए. तो और पैसे चाहिए तो फिर वापस से I asked them and they gave me the money, but they said, "Arey, this money you should have paid me last year with the sale consideration. Why you are paying late?" So will they give me interest? Interest on enhanced compensation. Where is it taxable? No one is adding the tagline. गाने तो पूरे याद रहते हैं. अरे क्या बताया था आपको? It is taxable under income from other sources and subject to 50% flat deduction. ये आएगा MCQ में. You all remember? I think we have worked out now 1 or 2 problems also we have taken. Chalo. So now vertically we will check it again. It's a very different way what we are learning, but if anything is not clear, you ask me. Which exemption I am teaching you? 54. Available to whom? Individuals and HUFs. Which asset? Long term. What they have to sell? Residential house. What they have to buy? Residential house. Time limit is 1 year backward, forward, from date of transfer. In case of compulsory acquisition, from date when you receive the money. Logically correct है ना? पैसे मिले तो invest करें. Right. Then, how much is exempt? Investment or capital gain, whichever is very good. And how much time you should hold the new asset? If within 3 years you sell it, it is taxable as what? गड़बड़ नहीं करना. It is taxable as short term capital gain. Is CGA scheme applicable? Now if I say, is CGA scheme applicable every time, will it be clear? Yes. If you can't put the money now, wait, don't be in a rush to buy another house. Put the money in CGS, you will get nominal interest, and in the meanwhile you buy the property. ठीक है? I think we read all the points, no? Amount can be withdrawn only for utilization of the scheme. If amount deposited is not utilized for acquiring, then the capital gain related to unutilized shall be treated as capital gain. So if you don't utilize the amount, it will be taxable. I want all of you to add over here this 8th point. Yahan likho. Interest on amount of deposit. Interest. Dictate कर रही हूँ, लिखो. Writing नहीं समझ में आएगी बाद में. Interest on amount deposited in CGAS is taxable under income from other source. Is it clear to all of you? Interest on amount of deposit in CGAS is taxable income from subject to है यहाँ सब्जेक्ट टू डिडक्शन नहीं ना, मत दो ऐसे इमोशनल डिडक्शंस मत दो. दैट इज ओनली फॉर एनहांस्ड कंपेंसेशन. Remember, not in between, because we are in this, but I want to discuss one points from this business head exam. What I commonly observed in your answer sheets ना एक बार डिस्कस करेंगे. बिजनेस हेड एग्जाम का सबने प्रॉब्लम अटेम्प्ट किए थे, व्हीकल वाला. चलो नेक्स्ट वी आर डूइंग नाउ नेक्स्ट एग्जामिशन 54B. यू हैव टू कीप टर्निंग पेजेस. 54B किसको अवेलेबल है? इंडिविजुअल्स एंड HUFs. दिस टाइम शॉर्ट टर्म लॉन्ग टर्म. ओके, बोथ. What you need to sell or transfer? Agricultural urban land. Take a pause and recollect agricultural rural land. What is agricultural rural land? City limit, उसके बाहर 8 किलोमीटर्स छोड़ दो, फिर वो जो लैंड है वो क्या है? रूरल लैंड. तो on that rural land, if you are doing agricultural activity, it is exempt. Only step method tax is calculated. This we have done in basics. You all remember? That agricultural rural land, गांव की जमीन, if you sell it, is there a capital gain? Yes or no? Some are saying yes. बंद करो, exemption नहीं पढ़ाना. मुझे लगता है इसको आधे में डिवाइड करके टेस्ट लेना था ना. खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा है चैप्टर. You all should know the definition of capital asset we learnt in the first class. You remember? Capital asset, it is all the kind of the asset except stock in trade and this one, agricultural land. So agricultural land is not a capital asset. तो उसको बेचे तो capital gain नहीं लगेगा. If your native place you are having some agricultural land and if you sell it, will you have to pay capital gain? No. Then which agricultural land I am talking right now? Urban. You know, in the city also, so much of urban land like growing of organic fruits and flowers and so much of market is there. So this agricultural urban land, if you sell, okay, then you can avail the exemption. Which one? 54B. Right. What you need to sell? Agricultural urban land. Are you underlining the clue word what I am underlining? साथ में करो, बाद में टाइम नहीं मिलेगा. Urban agricultural land, if it was used by individual or his parents for agricultural purpose during at least 2 years immediately prior to transfer. So you know, minimum 2 years you have to use it for farming purpose. You use it or you let it out. property मेरी है, agricultural urban land is mine, but I have given it to a farmer on rent and he is doing खेती over there. चलेगा? Yes. But it should be used for agricultural purpose. For how many years? 2 years. And which asset you need to buy? Agricultural land, urban or rural. What are you selling? Urban agricultural land. What are you buying? Or rural. City में land बेच के can I go in the village and buy the land? Yes. Time limit is what? Why not 3 years forward? There is no construction. No, can we construct agricultural land? Only 2 years. I am reminded, I think I discussed this case, no? This is which exemption we are doing? I think I have discussed that satellite wala story. Some of you were not there or long back. Satellite story I discussed, no? People are misusing this section 54B. When do you get the exemption 54B mein? When it is used for agricultural purpose. For how many years? Now you know this is an actual case of Kerala. Kerala mein ya to they do farming but very little, otherwise it is all coconuts, we all know. Or tea plantations are there. Now this person's had vacant plot, ekdam banjar zameen thi, and he has sold it. Okay? And it is urban agricultural land and he want to claim 54B exemption. So 54B, you cannot sell open plot and claim the exemption. So he got fake agricultural bills to show that yeah, promised last 2 years we have used for agricultural purpose. Can you get fake agricultural bills? Yeah, all fake bills are. Now that we should not talk like this. So he got fake agricultural bills and he proved that this property is used for 2 years for agricultural purpose and now I have purchased new agricultural land, urban or rural, kuch bhi khareed sakte hain and this much is exempt. If the deals are crores of rupees and then the tax will also be in lakhs of rupees. So they will do all this. And then the assessing officer was also very smart. He called satellite views, pictures of that land. You know, we can get, कभी खुद का घर देखा है आपने? Google में ऐसी टेरेस दिखती अच्छा लगता है ना? We can actually see in the Google Maps, yes or no? Our terrace looks like this, neighbor's house looks like this. So he got all the pictures, followed. And through the pictures, he could prove that there is no farming done in the last 2 years. And this is a barren plot. And because you are not fulfilling these conditions, it is not treated as agricultural land. And now he has suppressed the income, to ab uska assessment, you know, if people cheat like this, it's not normal assessment. There's a different assessment which you will study in final. Lot of scrutiny and all will be done. Followed all of you? So what you need to sell once again? Urban agricultural land. Used for 2 years minimum for agricultural purpose. What you need to buy? Time years is only 2 years forward, not 1 year backward, nothing. From the date of transfer. But in case of compulsory acquisition, from the date of receipt. How much is exempt? Investment or capital gain, whichever is lower. Anyone wants more example for this or clear? Whichever is lower. And second, if the new asset is transferred, new agricultural land you should not transfer. Within how many years? 3 years. It's like lock-in period. अब जब एक बेचा एक खरीदा तो थोड़ा pause लो, block करो पैसे. Right or not? That's why in share market also short term is taxable at what rate? 15%. Long term is taxable at 10. Before few years though long term was completely exempt. And short term was 15 and 15 may become 20 in the coming days. So long term trading you do, that's what they want to say. If the exemption is revoked, how it will be revoked? If you sell another agricultural land within 3 years, it's revoked. It will be taxable as what? Short term capital gain. Is CGS applicable? So I can put the money here in CGS for how much time? 2 years from where? From due date of filing the return. 2 years from the date of, I am exactly stressing on the point where they, turn the question in exam. Students also know the answer and they know exemption. But dekhte se हाँ घर खरीदा ना exemption if it is within the time limit of the transfer. Followed all of you? 54B is done. Next one is what? 54D. This is for any person. Company, partnership firm, individual, HUF, कोई भी ले लो. Short term or long term. What you need to sell? Land or building forming part of an industrial undertaking which is compulsory acquired by government and which is used during the 2 years for industrial purpose. I can give you 100 examples for this. Do you know that within the cities, if there are too many markets, they are shifting? For example, we'll take one example. Zoo Park is there. Next to Zoo Park is one area called as Katedan. In that Katedan, lot of plastic manufacturing. I'm giving example to make things clear. Don't talk mutually. So, lot of plastic manufacturing units are there, and lot of chemical waste is going in that tank. No, Miralam tank, I think. Which one part is coming to the zoo park, and it is very much hazardous for those animals. So, can they compulsory acquire all the industrial units over there, government, and ask them to shift 30 kilometers in the outskirts? Can it happen or not? So, all the industrial units will compulsory have to sell their land and building? And against this, will they get the land and building in the outskirts? Yes. This is like, I am telling you, so many examples I can give. Like Asia's one of biggest food grain and vegetable market is in Nagpur. So earlier it was in the center of the Nagpur. Like, how we have right now in the heart of our city, Begum Bazaar market. So maybe another 10 years, government will compulsory acquire this Begum Bazaar transport market and shift it in the outskirts somewhere. It might happen or not. So all the people will sell the shops and all here, and against this they will get. So what this fruit and vegetable market was in a hodgepodge area in Nagpur. They have made 4-lane ways, proper parking, and it is one of the biggest market of Asia for food grains, that is called as Kalamna market. So compulsory all the people sold their land building here and they acquired over here. Is it a transfer of capital asset? Capital gain lagega, exemption milega. Followed one more fourth example. Recently, I don't remember the name of the area, but there is a area in Hyderabad where too many dyeing units are there. Coloring they are doing. So dyeing and coloring ke liye they use chemicals. And finally they are putting all the chemicals in the drain. So nearby residential people have complained that all these dyeing units be shifted from here because of that the ground level water is coming contaminated. Are you getting these examples? So now shift. So here this is not being done individually. This is which land and building? It is compulsorily acquired by government. And it is used at least for 2 years. For which purpose? Industrial purpose. And which asset you need to buy? Land and building for industrial purpose. Time limit is what this time? 3 years forward. This time, not from the date of transfer. Why? Directly from the date of receipt of compensation. Why not from the date of transfer? Why not Control C and Control V? Compulsorily acquired, no? So government will only pay you the money. I am asking you maybe over questions so that I hope you are getting left to right, up to down. पूरा सुडोको खेल लेना है इसके साथ. Logically correct or not? When we are only saying that land and building is compulsory acquired, then 3 years not from the date of the transfer. 3 years time from the date when you receive the money, compensation. All right. How much is exempt? Investment in the new asset or capital gain, whichever is lower. And if the new asset is transferred within 3 years, then what it will happen? It will be revoked. and it will be taxable when exemption is revoked. It will be taxable as short. Are you reading it like this? Question and answer, question and answer. And then, is CGA scheme applicable? Yes. Why yes? 3 years time limit is there, no? For purchasing the industrial unit. You know, one pitfall is there, which practically people say in 54D, and that is, this exemption is given only on land and building. Are you all getting? Actually, they should, if it is an industrial undertaking, they should give on land, building and plant and machinery. Plant and machinery भी तो shift करना पड़ेगा ना, या तो same ले जाके लगाएंगे तो ठीक है, otherwise you will sell it here and you will buy over there. But they are giving only on what? Land. Now why I am saying in this conflicting way? In exam, can they give land, building and plant and machinery sold here and purchased there in the flow, all exempt? Dipti ma'am ने सिखाया 54D. So it's not allowed on plant and machinery. Only what you need to sell? Land and building. What you need to buy? Land and building. Compulsory acquired. Time limit of purchase is how much? 3 years forward. ठीक है, चलो अब ना बड़े दोस्त हैं, बेस्ट फ्रेंड है, ऐसे एरो मार्क करो. These two you do arrow mark because they go hand in hand. These two you do arrow mark because they go hand in hand. और ये सबसे अलग है, सबसे अलग है, इसको लास्ट में पढ़ेंगे. So first I am doing the last two. Is my speed fine? Till the back everyone is following? Chalo. Shall we do the last two together? Because what did I say? Read it together. 54G and 54GA. Who will get? Any person. Abhi we are doing vertically, then we will do left to right. And when we solve the problems, again we'll come and revise. It will be surely clear in 2 classes. Suno, dhyan se. 54G. Any person, short term or long term. What you need to sell? Land, building, plant and machinery in order to shift industrial undertaking from urban to rural. This is a superb example. In the outskirts of Hyderabad, so much of scheme, and after this COVID, you know, so much of benefits are given to Atmanirbhar Bharat startups. You just set up an industry in the outskirts of the city, in the areas and all, SMEs, और भी कुछ नाम बोलते हैं इसको. In the bank account also they register with Udyam or what. So there, you know, lot of power and all they are giving in a reasonable way. Because in city, one of the biggest expenditure for factories is labor and power, electricity. So in the outskirts, they will give you subsidies. They will give you lot of benefit. And urban to rural area, why they are giving you this exemption? You are generating employment in the rural area, correct? Best example is all these cottage industries, weaving industries. ये सब कहाँ हैं? Paper mills. Okay? These are all in the urban to rural. Okay. Now 54GA. क्या करना है? Land, building, plant and machinery in order to shift it from urban to SEZ पढ़े हैं. इंडिया का मैप बनाया था मैंने. Special economic zone. It is a foreign land in India where no local taxes are there. Just click in Google SEZ in Hyderabad. All your this high-tech city and all these areas where offices are located, there hardly any local taxes are there. But the promise is they should export. Whatever they manufacture in export, or ma'am, we are in softwares, we give services. ठीक है, तो services भी foreigners को दो. So you are getting income for India. ठीक है, छुट्टी, tax pay मत करो. Who? SEZ. I will teach you later one section called as section 10AA. There also SEZ gets exemption. But अभी ये exemption तो क्यों मिल रहा है? You are shifting your factory from heart of the city to urban to rural. Section 54. अर्बन टू SEZ 54A 54GA सॉरी. क्या क्या किस पे मिलेगा आपको? लैंड, बिल्डिंग. In your study material, one problem is there where they have sold land, building, plant and machinery and furniture. अरे आजा, 3 निकल रहे, तुम भी निकल जाओगे. Are you getting? Land, building, plant and machinery and furniture. So on furniture also will you get exemption? No. Only on land, building, plant and machinery. Okay, what you need to buy? Land, building and plant and machinery. Time limit for purchase this time is 1 year backward, 3 years forward. Are you all following? Now, from the date of transfer. Okay? There is no compulsory acquisition. क्योंकि ध्यान से सुनो, अगर कंपल्सरी एक्विजिशन होगा तो इट माइट बी कवर्ड इन 54D ओनली ना. 54D पढ़ा है ना आपको, कंपल्सरी एक्विजिशन. इसमें कोई कंपल्सरी एक्विजिशन है. हाउ मच इज एग्जेम्प्ट? इन्वेस्टमेंट इन न्यू असेट और कैपिटल गेन, विच एवर इज लोअर. नेक्स्ट, इज इट पॉसिबल टू रिवोक? यस, if the new asset is transferred within 3 years, and if it is revoked, it is taxable as what? Short term. Isn't it same to same? Copy paste. इतने सारे twin brothers हैं ना, पूछो मत. CGS is applicable? Yes, yes. Simultaneously both are clear. 54G urban to rural, 54GA urban to special economic zone, SEZ. Rest all is same. Now two most important. If you ask me एग्जाम में क्या पूछते हैं मैम, तो एग्जाम में ना सबसे पहले ये पूछते हैं एग्जाम के लिए, और दूसरा ये पूछते हैं, और फर्स्ट वाला आई एम टीचिंग. दैट डजंट मीन रिमेनिंग ऑल यू शुड नॉट स्टडी, बट दीज आर रिपीटेडली आस्क्ड. 54, 54EC. वाई 54F ऐसे अलग है एकदम, रीजन है उसका, अभी हमने नहीं किया. शैल वी डू दीज टू टुगेदर नाउ? यस. विच व्हाट आर द नेम ऑफ द एग्जेम्पशन? सेक्शन क्या है? 54EC and 54EE. ओके. एनी पर्सन कैन क्लेम, इंडिविजुअल, HUF, LLP, company, all long-term capital gain. Okay. In 54EC, you sell land and building and you buy bonds. You remember government bonds? We have discussed. What is bonds? Debentures only. Hi-fi name for debentures. So, अभी आप ऐसा इंटरव्यू में मत बोलना hi-fi name of debentures. ऐसा पढ़ा है दीप्ति मैम ने. Land and building you are selling and you are buying what? Bonds. Which bonds? NHAI bonds. NHAI popular है एग्जाम में, you can write NHAI bonds. National Highway Authority of India. और REC bonds. और REC क्या है? रूरल इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन और रेलवे कॉर्पोरेशन bonds. Just look at these 3 areas. Are these 3 areas super developed in the last 10 years? If now also we go from Tangbin, no, cab में अगर जाते हैं, अगर ऑन है आपका गूगल मैप तो बताता है यू आर ऑन नेशनल हाईवे. अब ये कहाँ का नेशनल हाईवे? ये तो सिटी के एकदम सेंटर में है. नाउ टू क्रॉस द सिटीज व्हाट डू वी हैव? ORRs. You don't need to enter. Express highways, flyovers, airports. All the cities airports have got new looks. So ये सब पैसे कहाँ से आ रहा है? Public are putting the money in bonds, and if you buy these bonds you can claim exemption. Okay, followed or not? Same for the rural. Before few years, 8 to 10 years, no one was knowing that you can generate power through windmill. Recently, when I visited to Gujarat, we saw the windmill from this just 2 feet. And it is so huge, so huge. You know, normally it looks very small. 3 पंखे हैं घूम रहे हैं, पर कैसे पावर जनरेट करते हैं उससे. So to set up these windmills in all the areas, they are paying money to those farmers जिसके खेत से ये windmill जा रही है. So for them they are giving, and this bonds you can purchase. Same for railways. Already we have seen so many changes in the railways. Recently Vistadome and Vande Bharat and now bullet trains and all. So this money public is putting in the bonds, and with the bonds they are developing the infrastructure. Now why you are encouraged to put the money in the bonds? What you are selling? Land and building. तो लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग सेल करके आपको ह्यूज कैपिटल गेन हो रहा है. यू वांट टू अवॉइड द कैपिटल गेन? बाय बॉन्ड्स. फॉलोड और नॉट. बट बॉन्ड्स खरीद के बेचना नहीं है. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है फॉर फ्रॉम एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, टाइम लिमिट. मार्केट वेरीज. को किटकैट 5 स्टार सब खिलाओ. थोड़ा पेशेंस रखना है. सबको समझ में आ रहा है नहीं? वी आर नॉट डूइंग प्रॉब्लम्स. वाई आई एम पुटिंग स्टार्स? Very important. Ma'am, everywhere you are giving 3 years time, and for bonds purchase only 6 months, peanuts. Why like that? क्या पता? हाँ, fast. Why? अच्छा, 6 months from where? Date of transfer. In case of compulsory acquisition, from the receipt of the compensation. Capital gain कितना exempt है? Investment or capital gain, whichever is lower. Some of the students are not answering, diverted. And now most important is lock-in period. If the new asset is transferred or converted in money or loan is taken within 5 years, means block bonds for 5 years. Correct है या नहीं? Buy the bonds and block it for 5 years. Ma'am, can I buy the bonds and sell it after 3 years? No. After 4 years? No. After 5 years? Yes. Acha, and not only just sell it, they said you cannot convert it in money and you cannot even take in loan. Bonds की security दे के आप कोई loan भी नहीं ले सकते. Are you getting why? Because if you give security of bond and take a loan, and if you don't repay the loan, they will to sell your bonds. Again, you are back to square where you are. So for 5 years, don't sell the bonds. And later on somewhere it will be written, but I want you all to write ये दोनों को मिला के maximum purchase is up to 50 lakhs. लिखो लिखो. Maximum purchase is up to 50 lakhs. Current year plus next year. I'll explain what do you mean by this. This is also so much asked in MCQs. Everyone is having the book, no? Otherwise you are missing out writing important points. Anyone sitting without notebook? नहीं खानी है आज डांट किसी को पक्का. सब लेके आए नोटबुक. What did I write? Is it clear? No, it's not clear. Such a bad writing. Read out loudly. पढ़ लो क्या बताया मैंने. Maximum purchase is up to, listen, my capital gain is 80 lakhs. मैंने ना land बेची, घर बेचा 80 lakhs. I want to buy the bonds 80 lakhs. Can I buy 80 lakhs? Answer is no. This year and next year you can buy. अब government की मर्जी, उससे ज़्यादा किसी एक को नहीं देना है. तो what is the limit? 50 lakhs. But ma'am, my capital gain is 80 lakhs. Now I want the answer from you. कुछ पूछ रही हूँ मैं मैजिकल. Residential house बेचा, sale consideration 100, index cost of acquisition 20, capital gain 80 lakhs. Can I sell the house and buy bonds? Yes or no? कितने के bonds खरीदूं? तो 30 lakhs पे टैक्स दे दूं. कैपिटल गेन वो भी कितना है? लैंड बिल्डिंग पे हाउ मच इट इज टैक्स? अरे टुडे इन द बिगनिंग ऑफ द क्लास वी डिड. How much is the tax on 30 lakhs? 20%. Please show some way out, no? Every student should think and answer. I am asking you something. सब दीप्ति मैम नहीं पढ़ाते ना, अभी नहीं पढ़ाना 54F, गाड़ी रुक गई. Say some way out, no? I sold the house. 80 lakhs is the capital gain. 50 lakhs you told me buy bonds, Dipti ma'am. Block it for how many years? ठीक है, कर देंगे, चलो ब्लॉक कर देंगे. बॉन्ड्स खरीद लिए. बॉन्ड्स पे इंटरेस्ट आता है, वो भी टैक्स फ्री होता है, कुछ टैक्सेबल है, वो सब है, अलग स्टोरी. 30 lakhs is huge amount. On that 20%, 6 lakhs. I don't want to pay the tax. Very good. You all should clap for him. In short, थोड़ी चीजें ना बुक्स नहीं पढ़ाती, but you will get question in the exam. Very smart answer. You are repeating second time, first time, क्योंकि मैंने शायद पिछले बार भी पूछा होगा एक क्वेश्चन. हाँ, what did he say? Sell the house, buy the house. ऐसे लग रहा है कि मैं मार्केटिंग कर रही हूँ कैपिटल गेन की. Sell the house, buy the house. Sell the house and buy the bonds. Can we do both? Yes. So did you learn something new? Can we avail 2 exemptions? Followed? और 2 जगह भी हम exempt ले सकते हैं. I'll tell you. You know, we can claim 1 exemption in 2 sections also. That also I'll tell you. First, is this clear? This is a very nice example. If you want, you can write wherever. Sale consideration is 100. Index cost is 20. Long term capital gain is 80 lakhs. Bonds खरीदे 50 lakhs. 30 lakhs का क्या करो? New house खरीद लो. So this will be 54. Bonds वाला section क्या है? 54. E, C. And this is what section? अरे घर बेच के घर लो तो क्या है? 54. Can you avail 2 exemptions? Answer is yes. The more you apply this now, you will enjoy this topic. Tomorrow, nothing new I am teaching. कल सिर्फ problems करेंगे. Target is to do at least 8 to 10 good problems. Depends on your speed. Homework करके है सब? अंशु वाला? हाँ, बिल्कुल चेक करेंगे, बस ये हो जाएगा अभी. Once you finish writing this, you can write in your booster notes or you can write here wherever you want. Tell me. You know, in batch, many times the students say, ma'am, it is so vast. If we study and go capital gain without exemption, is it okay? P के marks हैं ये. Promise you will not forget exemption. Today it will take time. Refer and do. Because you are listening and understanding for the first time. By tomorrow when you solve 10 problems applying this, you will be obviously clear. It is so easy. घर बेच के घर लेना है 54. घर बेच के bonds लेना है 54. E, C. फिर से एक बार. What is the time limit for purchase? 6 months. And why I think I already marked it very important ना. Listen all of you. One example, if space is there, यहाँ पे लिखो 1st July 2022 house sold. घर तो बेच दिए, जुलाई 22 में घर बेच दिए. एंड बॉन्ड्स खरीदे 31st March 2023. Will you get the exemption? Exemption मिलेगा या नहीं? Yes या no? क्या पता? Shall I repeat my question? Houses sold on 1st July 2022. Bonds are purchased on March 23. बॉन्ड्स परचेज किए. दीप्ति मैम ने बोला है 54. इसी ये ना स्टूडेंट्स ऐसे बस उठा के अप्लाई कर देते हैं. दिस इज नॉट कॉल्ड एप्लीकेशन ऑफ नॉलेज, दिस इज कॉल्ड डंपिंग ऑफ नॉलेज. Whatever knowledge you have, you want to dump in the answer sheet. उसको थोड़ी पढ़ाना है इनकम टैक्स पेपर करेक्टर को. I don't know the answer. You say. I purchased the bonds on 31st March 23. Will I get the exemption? Yes or no? Why no? 6 months from here. So you will ignore it or you will take it? Ignore it with. भूले तो नहीं है ना आप लोग? नोट के लिए मार्क है एग्जाम में. Ignore it with a note. Write and come that 54 EC exemption is not availed because 6 months are over from the date of transfer. Are you able to write what I am writing like this on the screen? ये सब जो आज एग्जाम्पल लिखा रहे हैं ना, दीज आर लाइक पार्ट ऑफ योर प्रॉब्लम्स. दिस द वे दे, अदरवाइज एवरी स्टूडेंट इन द क्लास नोज हाउ टू यूज द CII टेबल एंड कैलकुलेट द कैपिटल गेन. चलें साथ में. चलो, नाउ व्हाट यू नीड टू बाय. 54EE में आ जाओ. हु विल गेट 54EE? एनी पर्सन. ऑन व्हाट? लॉन्ग टर्म. Any long-term capital asset. 54EC is little rigid. What you need to sell? Land and building. Here you can sell excuse me, any capital asset. What you need to buy? Units of specified mutual funds. Like, you know, you can make FD in bank. Listen, this is a part of your academics. And you can make tax saving FD. Next time you take a token and sit in the bank, no, check the rate. वहाँ पे ना बोर्ड पे ऐसे स्क्रॉल होते रहते हैं. FD इंटरेस्ट इतना है, सेविंग इंटरेस्ट इतना है. तो FD इंटरेस्ट एंड टैक्स सेविंग FD इंटरेस्ट. Like that, there are certain specified mutual funds. You can purchase the units. How much you can purchase? कितने खरीदोगे आप मैक्सिमम? 50 lakhs. इसके लिए भी वही लिमिट है. टाइम लिमिट कितना है? 6 months forward. That's why I said they go hand in hand. I am making it comfortable for you all to remember for exam. 54EC and 54EE. फिर से शुरू करते हैं. ये देखो. Any person, any person. Which capital asset? Long term. Here there is a difference. Sell land and building and buy bonds. Here sell any asset and buy mutual fund. 6 months forward from the date of transfer. Investment in the new house or capital gain, whichever is lower, is exempt. Here the blocking period is 3 years. Followed all of you? Bonds के लिए कितना है? 5 years. और यहाँ पे कितना है? 3 years. One concept, one problem that we do normally in business ed. वैसे ही tomorrow, one exemption we will take the problem. Today overall you should know. Now, if it is revoked, it is taxable as what? अच्छा, take a pause. Whenever everything is revoked, it is short term. Why only this? ये तो अभी हमने पढ़ा ही नहीं है 54F. Why this is long term? Holding period of the bond is how much? No, age of the asset में. Bonds will come where? In the second one. 2 years से ज़्यादा ही लिए तो long term हो जाएगा ना आपका. So in that case this will be long term if it is revoked. Mutual fund units. Mutual fund units तो less than 12 months, short term. Otherwise long term. So here you are holding it for 3 years. 3 years के पहले बेचे तो what it will be? Long term. Followed? Exemption revoked is long term. Now take a pause and tell me, until now are all the sections clear? What is 54? 54 में क्या करना है? Sell the house, buy the house. 54B, urban agricultural land, buy urban or rural. 54D, land and building, industrial undertaking. Sell it and buy it, compulsory. 54G, shift from urban to rural. GA, shift from urban to SEZ. Okay, right. And now 54EC, land and building, you sell it by bonds. 54EE, sell anything and buy mutual fund units. But promise you block it for how many years? 3 years from the date of the transfer. Okay, and time limit for purchase is how much? 6 months. Okay, now everything is over. Shall we do 54F? मैंने आपको बोला था ना, वो अकेला खड़ा है, ये देखो, separate. There's a reason why it is separate and it is asked too much. These three are repeatedly asked, 54, 54EC and 54F. In MCQs, I to think only the weightage of exemption is 6 marks. 4 marks, so it will be covered in your capital gain problem. Ma'am, if I do capital gain problem correct till capital gain, exemption छोड़ दूँ तो out of 8 only 4 marks. And MCQ sure one of this will be asked, some limit, some 50 lakh, something. Okay, 54F is for chota mota people. Who are chota mota people? Individuals and HUFs. What they need to asset का nature कैसा है? Long term. Any long term asset other than residential house. What you need to sell? Anything. Jewelry, open plot, antiques, paintings, कुछ भी बेचो. किसको छोड़ के? Residential house. Okay? And condition is provided on the date of transfer. Taxpayer should not have more than one house. एक घर है. And what they need to buy? Residential house. Are you all with me? I will do combination problems tomorrow. Combos का ज़माना है ना, एक एक का. Can we do combination problems for 54 and 54F? Are you getting? What is 54? घर बेच के घर लेना है. What is 54F? Plot बेच के घर लेना है. So I have sold my old house, I have sold my plot and I purchased a huge house. Can I claim 54 and 54F together? Yes. I'll show you. I think I have printed that example. एक बार पहले पढ़ लो. Once again, what do you need to sell? Any asset. What do you need to buy? House property. Now because it is house property, what is the time limit? ऐसे. 1 year backward, 2 years forward construction, 3 years forward from the date of transfer. In case of compulsory acquisition, from the date of the receipt. Okay? और ये ऐसे आपने ब्लॉक में डाला है जैसे मैंने डाला है. If not, put it. There is a reason. Put it in the block. And now, until now, look at the screen, all of you, dear students. How is it calculated from left to right? देखो, how much is exempt? Investment in the new house or capital gain, whichever is lower. Can you see some formula here? Until now, we have never done any formulas. We have applied our logic. So here also we will go to refer note 2. Note 2 में आ जाओ. ये देखो. Sale consideration 100 rupees की you have sold what? Jewelry. Index cost कितना आया? 75. Long term capital gain कितना है? 25. Now you invest in new house 35. Take a pause. What you have sold? Jewelry. What you are purchasing? House. Which exemption you will get? 54F. Followed? Right. Now how they are giving? In 100 sale consideration 100 है, तो capital gain कितना है? 25. So you invested how much? 35. You know, take a pause. इसको आप बिल्कुल याद कर सकते हो. कैसे? 100 rupees sale consideration है. You have sold the jewelry and you got capital gain 25. Why didn't you invest 100 rupees? है ना 100 rupees हाथ में, तो करना था invest. You invested only 35. So proportionate deduction you will get. In 100, 25 capital gain is exempt. What you have invested? 35. How much will be exempt? 35 into 25 divided by 100. 8.75. But ma'am, capital, see, take a pause, huh? Capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. So capital gain is 25, investment is 35. So pura capital gain jane do na. Until now, all we have done like that. Are you getting? I am teaching in a different way. More of talking and analysis so that you remember this as a package for exam. Capital gain is 25, investment is 35. You only said, no ma'am, whichever is lower, whichever is lower. The same story was going on for all. But 54F is saying no. Proportionate to your capital gain. Followed all of you. 100 sale consideration hai, to 25 rupees capital gain hai. So why you invested 35? Did you do under investment? Now you know, I don't know if that topic, insurance claims is over for you in accounts. Have you all studied average clause? Is it same like this? Huh? Aapka, what do you call that? No, in average clause, what do? I'm saying because I know you have to write 4 exams together. No, that last statement what we make. Your stock is 100 rupees and your loss is 25. Now, why did you take insurance only for 35? Under insurance kiye na apne? So, 100 no, salvage ke baad. Salvage is 75, dear. Your stock is 100 but your loss is 25. So, salvage is 75. That much you have sold. Take a pause. Clear or not? In 100 rupees stock, if you have claimed 25 rupees policy, or no, your stock is 100. Your stock is 100. Your loss is 25. But you have taken your sum assured. Your policy amount is 35 lakhs. Why did you do under insurance? जब आपका stock 100 रुपए का था तो आपने 35 रुपए की policy क्यों ली? Under insurance किया तो cross में. Do you apply average clause? Some formula? No formula. All logic and magic. Clear or not? Same thing you remember here. Sure? Will you remember like this? Sale consideration 100 hai, capital gain 25. So why did you invest 35 only in the new house? Ma'am, this logic we can apply everywhere. No ना please, फिर तो परेशान हो जाएंगे. इसको कहाँ apply करना है? सिर्फ 54F. You got it now? How much is exempt? 8.75, remaining 16.25 is taxable. Ask. You have some doubt. पूछो ना. No capital gain. फिर इन्वेस्ट करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. करो भी तो भी. See, exemption, last 1.5 hour we are juggling to save the capital gain tax. If sale consideration is 100 and cost is 100, my capital gain is 0. Array, that can also be done. If sale consideration is 100, what she is asking is other way, we'll do. Maths logic, capital gain is 25. Now suppose you have invested in the house. You have sold jewelry for 100, you got capital gain 25. Now you invested in house 100. How much you will get the exemption? Pura 25. Problem is only under insurance, under cutting. जहाँ आप cutting किए हम क्यों exemption पूरा दें? Government is saying simple logic. When you are doing undercutting in investment, why we should give full exemption? I don't know if you have this same argument for insurance claims also. Your sum assured is 35 lakhs and your loss is 25. Ma'am, loss is less than sum assured, no? Give the full claim. Still any conflict in mind or clear? 100 wala logic clear hai? Chalo. Please come and apply this in the formula. Investment in the new house. What is investment in the new house? Just now we did no investment in the new house. How much? Say 35. Divide by net sale consideration 100 into the capital gain 25. Are you getting? I'm trying to fit it in the formula like I taught you CII. Followed or not? Don't write this formula in the exam. You do it logically. And then leave the gap and fill up. I will solve. Tomorrow we are doing 2-3 problems for 54F. Sale consideration is this. This is the capital gain. How much you invested? Proportionate capital gain. In short, 54F is the only section which is saying capital gain exemption you will get proportionate to your sale consideration. Clear? Okay. Condition. If the new asset is transferred within 3 years, घर लेके बेचना नहीं 3 साल. If another residential house is purchased, already you have one house and another house you have purchased. Now third house you cannot purchase. For how many years? 2 years. And if another residential house is not, are you getting or not? Jewelry sell karo, ghar kharido. Already you have one house. You are buying second house to claim this exemption. Now for the coming 2 years, you cannot buy one more house. Coming 3 years, you cannot construct one more house. Simple. Clear? Conditions they have kept. And if this is revoked, this will be taxable as what? Long-term capital gain. Is CGS applicable? Answer is yes. Clear to all of you? Now, just 2 minutes more. I know I am late. I will ask sir because this is to be done in link. पर इसको करते हैं वापस. अब left to right देखो एक बार पूरा. 54 be like this. See left to right. Small छोटा छोटा. Which one are छोटा छोटा? Only 54 घर बेच के गढ़ लो. Agricultural land and your 54F. These 3 are only small. Rest all anyone can avail. Okay? Right. And then short term, long term, so you will remember. What you need to sell and buy, you are clear. Time limits are clear. Generally for purchase and construction 2 and 3 years. In all the other cases 3 years. Only for bonds, how much time? 6 months. This point is same. Now look at this point. Why did I make this circle? Look at this. Is it same? Investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower. Only for 54F, you need to apply the formulae. And if it is revoked, it will be taxable as, I want all of you to put these ticks so that you remember. Whenever any exemption is revoked, it is taxable as what? Short term, short term, short term, short term. Kab long term hoga? Bonds. 54 EC, 54 EE and 54F. Followed? The more you scribble and practice, this will be clear. अच्छा CGS check no please. CGS में ऐसे circle करो. Is CGS scheme applicable for all? Yes, 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 yes. Where it is not applicable? Bonds and specified units. Why? अरे 6 महीने का time limit है. So from March 6 months also September. So anyhow you need to buy within the due date of filing the return. So logically no question of CGS. Clear? Read and come these all points. Note 3, 4 and 5. 54 GB अभी नहीं करना है. And we will do all these problems in tomorrow's class. Homework is read and come the table. Okay? Right. What is the answer for Anshu? Just only the answer. Stamp duty वाला problem homework दिए थे ना, तो उसका आंसर कितना है? Homework answer along with how much is the answer? Sale consideration, how much you all have taken? And cost of acquisition? 16 lakhs, 88,100. Very good. And did you set off the short-term loss? You can. So finally, how much answer you are getting? Expert you all have become. Very good. Do the next one also. Thomas problem. Completed? But we are late now. Enough. The next schedules will get late. We will continue this tomorrow. Any doubt you have, just ask me. Okay? Tomorrow when I start the class. Thank you so much. Yes, long-term capital gain is, final answer कितना आ रहा है? 22560. हाँ, अंशु वाला 1,20,567. Online students, very good, Naman. All of you have done it correct. 1,20,567. Thank you.